Hello, I'm Michelle and I'm a Sorts Medilink nurse, and today I'm here with Nick to discuss the Confidence B Go pouch and the wafer in particular. Talking to nurses and patients, one of the most important aspects is how we get the wafer to adhere to the skin and has a good tact, but also that it's easily removed from the skin and doesn't leave any residue. And I'm here today with Nick for him to be able to discuss this more with us.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining me. I'm Nick Holmes. I'm the research lab manager here at Salts. We'll be talking about the BGO wafer today. Is there any particular aspect that you wanted to talk about first?
The adhesion to the wafer itself and how it will adhere to the patient's skin.
When we're testing that, we call that tack. So it's how quickly the adhesive grabs onto the skin and forms a permanent bond. So when we were developing this wafer, we've tried to make it so it's not below any of our current wafers. It's got
Okay.
that top of the range tap that Natural Advance has. However, we have tried to make it easier to remove because we know that this wafer is going to be used for several different ostomates. So we want to make sure that we're trying to reduce that skin stripping as much as possible.
And that's really important as both a nurse and for our patients to make sure when we're taking off the pouch, we do that as easily as possible to prevent any skin damage, any skin tears or irritation that may get caused by taking the wafer off.
It's proven that this reduces skin damage against one of our own products. So we have that data on file.
There must be a lot of science behind the development of this wafer. You must do a lot of testing.
So the BGO wafer is our most tested wafer yet. The tests include tack, peel, we have erosion, gel strength, rheology, pH testing, and then of course on-skin wear testing as well.
Wow, that's a long list of tests. I also noticed that the wafer features our patented FlexiFix wafer. Is there anything else that you can tell us about the wafer?
Yeah, we've stuck with our patented FlexiFit wafer technology. We have also infused it with extracts of aloe vera, and we also have a pH additive in there, which helps the skin maintain its natural pH. Okay, next up, I'd like to talk to you about the erosion. Yeah, so when we're talking about erosion in the lab, we're talking about how well the adhesive can hold itself together after it's absorbed moisture. Obviously, you'll know that the wafer needs to hold itself together for various reasons.
So it leaked, then there may be residue left on the skin, and then that would mean that the patients take longer to change their pouch because they'll need to get the residue off first before adhering the new pouch to their skin.
Yeah, so we've formulated this adhesive to be our most erosion resistant adhesive yet. When they remove the wafer from the skin, it won't leave as much residue as previous products have.
And that's one of the facts that we get from patients is about the residue that can sometimes be left behind on the skin when they take their flange off.
Yeah, so one of the ways that we try and improve the erosion resistance is we test something called gel strength.
Okay.
So we can add different hydrocolloid particles in there, we can add different additives. They influence the gel strength. That's essentially the opposite of erosion. So erosion is how it falls apart, and gel strength is how well it keeps itself together after it's absorbed that moisture. We measure the Confidence B Go wafer as being very, very good at its gel strength. It surpasses Natural Advance with regards to its strength.
So that's really good for us to know as nurses that when our patients are using this, we have that confidence then that it will absorb via the gel and stay on for longer, but also come off easier and not leave residue behind.
Yeah, I think one of the things we've found with previous products that once they absorb, they can start to fall apart. We see that in our tests, and we've tried to improve that with this product. Also, another advantage of this formulation is that the elastic properties of the rubber components can expand with the hydrophilic absorbent particles, and that's also helps the gel strength by keeping itself together and not breaking like some traditional hydrocolloid adhesives do.
So earlier you mentioned about the pH in Confidence B Go and how it helps to maintain healthy skin levels.
To tell you a bit more about that, so the additive that we have in there helps maintain the skin's natural pH. So your skin's meant to sit between a certain level of pH. You don't want it too alkaline and you don't want it too acidic because that can cause problems for your skin. You can cause bacterial or fungal growth. You can disrupt the skin's barrier properties. So if you have an adhesive that doesn't disrupt that, you can potentially prevent problems from forming.
And so then that, I guess, would mean in the future less accessories needed because you're not having that breakdown of skin or irritation in the first place.
Yeah, so depending on where you potentially see issues with the skin, if you're using accessories to combat those, as long as it's in an area where the wafer is maintaining that skin pH, you potentially might see less issues.
Well, thank you so much for going through the wafer today with me and all the science behind it. I think it's definitely helped me have a better outlook at the wafer and the science that goes behind making it, and how that actually can help us give the patients the best experience with the wafer itself.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm glad we could sort of sit and chat about the wafer and what it means for nurses and patients.